The rain has arrived in Yorkshire. We've been waiting for it. Yay! To water the fields. Right, let's have a catch up. It's been a fair minute.
What's your story? What's your sign? It's like we're twin flames in a different life. Deep connection lights a spark. It's like you know me in the depths of my heart. We're dreamers. Don't care what other people say. We live it like this could be a final.
Welcome back to my channel. How the devil are we all doing? Apologies for these not going out weekly at the moment. I've just been struggling with motivation. Not going to lie. It has been, hello pod. It has been really difficult. I think on this eventing journey, sometimes you think, am I chasing a dream that is very unrealistic? And particularly with the boys, I always, the analogy I use is like a snakes on ladders board. So with Reg, I felt like I'd got halfway up that board. We were going to compete at 90 this year. We were training at 100. We'd jumped some novice fences. And then I hit a big snake and he left me. And I fell down that snake to the bottom, and then, thank you, pod, and then got these girls and feel like I'm trying to climb back up that ladder again. And it's really difficult because I really, really miss Reginald sometimes. Anyway, I thought I'd give you a catch up on what's happening with these beautiful girls. Pod is, I see you, Pod. Pod is settling in to the clan. She is proving to be an absolute legend. She is more of the scarier one out of the two. Like, life's a little bit scary sometimes, but she's super talented. And yeah, we'll give you a catch up with her in a minute. And Molly. Molly is, oh, there is the child. Say hello, Hall. It's a teenager. Molly, I can't see you. Molly is becoming the new liability. Like, Reginald was always the one that was very expensive, very difficult, always had something wrong with him, but he was cool, went out competing. Molly is the new liability. So we'll go through it in a little bit. What is happening with Moles? Oh, she says it's so very boring. And what the plan is, and why she's probably going to take a little bit longer than Pea. she's just pulling her tongue out. And why she choose fences. Yeah. Thanks, Moll. Molly's the one with the personality, as you can see. She wants to go out. So, right. Who do you want first? Let's start with P. They're having a wander now. Hi, Molls. And they've just been, honestly, sometimes it's like having toddlers around. They are handfuls and hard work. So let's start with P. This week with P, I've been doing a bit of hacking. I've been doing a bit of schooling. I do apologise now. The filming is not great because sometimes I just don't have the people around me to come and film. So I have to prop it up against a fence. So this will show you some of the schooling work with P I've been doing. The main thing I've been focusing on with her is she can be quite tense. So I want P to start working long and low and a little bit more relaxed in her frame, because we've had so much heat in the lovely Yorkshire area. I have been getting up at 4:30 to make sure they are exercised before the heat hits. So they have both been exercised before 7:30. It's difficult at the minute as well because I'm having my fields rolled, harrowed, so they're in for and sprayed and fertilised, so they're in for 2 weeks. So I'm having to make sure that I keep their joints moving as well while they're in. So it's just been a challenge. I think that's why I've been lacking motivation. It's just been difficult. But here's P's update. Hope you like it.
Just one glass in, you're already on my mind. When it gets late, I always realize that I need you. Are you thinking about me too tonight? It's no secret, all my friends already know. There's no reason hold it back, I let it show.
A Molly update. Here she is. Love of my life. However, proving to be, oopsies, just a little bit more of a slow burner than P. So I'll set you up, hang on. And we see, here is our Molly. Now Molly came to me and then did a bit of work, and then she went for a mini break because I just could feel that her brain was getting a little bit fried and she just needed some downtime. So she had a couple of weeks of just being a horse in the field. However, while she was off for these couple of weeks, it became apparent that she had a issue with her left hind, and it is that at certain stages her stifle would lock. It's not doing it at the moment, so I can't actually show you. I didn't get any video when it was happening because obviously I wanted to make sure that she was all right. I didn't want to pick up my camera, so apologies. But yeah, her stifle started locking. So checks have been done, x-rays, she's absolutely fine. What we think is actually the problem is that Molly came severely under condition. Molly is still young, her muscles and ligaments are still developing, and then she put on quite a bit of condition in a short space of time, and that the ligament is just not caught up. So obviously this is a ligament that allows horses to sleep standing up. It's an evolutionary trick. It's magical, so that when they're in the wild, if there's a predator, they can run away quickly, they don't have to fumble around getting up. However, it's very common in young horses that when it's not developed, it can actually cause a stifle lock. It doesn't cause any pain whatsoever, it just looks horrific. So, speaking with vets and physios, Molly has been on a work plan. So Molly is better in work than out at the moment while we develop these ligaments over her hind. Just showing you, just having a quick spin. So she's been doing a lot of long lining, hill work, walk up and down hills. She is on a supplement. Now, you know my view on supplements, but this one is vet recommended. I'll put the list of the specific ingredients it has to assist with this development of her muscles. And yeah, she's just come back as well. So we've not had any incidents of the stifle locking since, and she's just come back so much more stronger. So I'll put a bit of her journey in there, but Molly will just be a slower progress than what P is, just to make sure that she is 100% right before we do anything with her. Also, Molly ran through a fence line and gouged her chest out this week, so when we say she's the new liability, she is. But other than that, Molly is fine and well. Yes. And if you see the videos, she's looking super strong now. So this week we're into school work with her. We're doing serpentines along with her hill work, and yeah, what else have I got to do with you? You're on serpentines, you're on hill work. We've got some physio exercises, which is like a tail pull that we do as well. So that's the Molly update.
Like a drug, I am hooked on you. Sweeter than summer wine. Baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you. And that makes me say, oh man, you make it feel like paradise. Goddamn, I think I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh man, you make it.
Well, what we thought we'd do now, the rain has stopped. So me and the teenager I've roped in are going to set up a little exercise in the school for both girls, because with what we've just been talking about with Molly's rehab plan, it's not really rehab, is it? I don't know. Anyway, with her plan to get her stronger, this will suit her at a very low level. So she's also got to do a lot of raised poles and a lot of walk work over them to get that hind end developed, and we'll put it up a little bit higher for P. So why not? I always take you along for the school sessions with the little bits of the poles. So come along, see what we're doing. And I thought I'd just finish this vlog off pretty nicely. I'm going to do my best to try and get these vlogs out, but not going to lie, people, working full time, homeschooling, what else do we do? That's about it. Clean houses, I've got dogs to walk. Yeah. It's really hard work. Hats off to anybody that gets YouTube videos out on the regular. I've got some few ideas lined up in the pipeline, so I'll try and get them out. Anyway, done it today, so win. Celebrate the small wins, people. Look at that view. Magical.
Paradise, paradise.
Okay, Okay, so here is our little morning pole exercise for a Sunday morning. I've done them as raised poles because I'm going to take Molly in first, and she doesn't need any kind of things that will for a fence. She just needs them to be slightly raised to get that hind end activated. The best thing about these Jump for Joy fences is you can do them on angles like that, so that's set up for when Pea comes in. But there you go. Right, let's go get a Molly. So just warming Molly up now, and you know, in the past few videos with Molly, I've just been kind of saying that I wanted to learn to go forward, and that was the schooling we were doing before she had her sabbatical, before she had a break. Now she's come back and we're doing this exercise to try and build her hind end. I am starting now to ask for contact down the reins, through the leg and the hand aid. So literally it's like a squeeze alternative, so squeeze, squeeze, squeeze with the leg to try and get her to come onto a contact. She tends to go a little bit behind the vertical now, but in the end will help her work over her back better, and she is kind of accepting it. 'Cause I know sometimes contact with ex-racehorses is like the holy grail, but I've always found that if you actually can find them to go forward first and then ask for the contact later, and trying to force them into a frame that their bodies are physically not capable of doing. Where Molly's built up a lot of strength now, she can carry herself a little bit better. Change the rein.
In my mind, just to keep this moment till the end of time, 'cause I know that it might be over after tonight. So before I change my mind, your hands around my waist, just let the music play. Like a drug, I am hooked on you, sweeter than summer wine. Baby, just hold me tight. Like a drug, I am hooked on you, and that makes me say, oh man.
Now I'm working on the trot. Outside rein stable, inside bit of flex, inside leg to outside rein. Asking her to come down. Down. Give her a breather. Leg is so important, I think, in the contact. Again, people, this is just my work, it's not what, you know, everybody's different, do it your own way. But you see a lot of people kind of seesawing in the mouth. Doesn't work with a thoroughbred. Probably doesn't work with a lot of those people. So of the poles. Working on this little S bend. Oh. That's when you get a youngster who doesn't really understand the question. That's why you always have to be prepared for, like.
She's silly.
I want
in
her
the
to
good
just
way.
Walk over them.
Oh. She doesn't like this one.
Oh, nearly.
In the...
I'm going to do it the other way now. Change. Very important to do it from both sides. Literally. One of my bad habits is turning the circles too tight. I'm giving them time. Good girl.
Yay.
The lower end to start off with. Go. I mean, not needed, but. Preempting then, just turning around.
Is that dog training? Surely knocked one over.
Good girl. Sliding her feet. There we go. Job done. Woo. Molly is finished. So that is Molly's session done. She is obviously a bit behind P, and we're just trying to build up that hind strength. She did really, really well. She's still very behind the leg. She still needs to build a lot of strength up, but her contact is coming along nicely, and I'm really happy with her. Now she'll do, next week, she'll do a lot of hill walking and goes in the school probably once a week at the minute, and the rest is hacking fitness. Right, let's get the next girl, and that is the pea pod. Okay, so we've changed the exercise a little bit for P. Instead of just it being raised poles, we've gone to slightly bigger raised poles. So these are set at a 40 centimetre and a 60 centimetre. So, yep, quite tiny little jumps just to make her work a bit more. With P, oh, by the way, a disclaimer, there is shavings in her tail. This is reality. We don't always get time to groom. I know we should, but the tail, it doesn't really matter. She's got shavings in her tail. It doesn't affect how she works. The bits that need to be groomed have been groomed. Anyway, for P, I'm trying to get her to work a little bit more long and low because she is incredibly uptight in her frame. So it's all about the chill vibes with Peanutty. I'm just going to work her in, and then we'll have a little go over the poles. P's long and low, it's longer rein. I'm still asking for the contact. I'm inside leg to outside. We're just giving her that ability to stretch down. Good girl. And change the rein. Again, keeping it relaxed. Working her forward on this rein. She's a bit nappy to the gate, P, so I just have to keep the leg on as I'm going round. Right, we're going to have a little pop over the fences and see how she thinks.
It just dropped on your stick. Good girl.
Session done on P, and I think it's really interesting. That's when you remember actually she's still a baby and she's still learning. That's quite a hard exercise gymnastically for her. She's still building up her hind end, and as the fences weren't that big, she's just got to learn, and I've got to ride it better as well. So I'm obviously, you know, real talk, I'm riding two youngsters that I've only rode for the last 3 months. I don't have confidence yet in their jumping that they're going to go. So I think you ride defensively, which when I start and just put my fear in a little box and then start to ride properly, P really does like it because she needs that confidence. So I'm working on that. You know, it's always about working on things together, but I was really happy with how that session finished. And I think for P, we have to remember when to stop, because when she's going good, you kind of think, oh, I want to do it again and again. But she's only 5 and she needs to finish on a positive, which she did. So anyway, guys, sorry I haven't been posting weekly, but I hope you liked that little update with me and the girls. And just to say that this horse journey is hard, it's difficult, and I feel you if you feel like you're not out there with your matches doing a million things. Sometimes just hacking your pony is the best thing in the world, and that's what I've done over the last couple of weeks. So keep it real. Please like, comment, subscribe for more. See you laters. Bye. Hold that.
Okay.
It's really hard. It'll be on the outtakes.
Say hello.